Now listen.
Yeah, that's different. That's a pop song.
I'm Elvis Presley.
Here is Elvis.
Welcome to the Elvis Presley Special.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Elvis Presley Show.
Dear viewers, I've said it before, but as a news reporter, I am always dependent on the news that comes available. Some months there's a lot of news and other months there's simply a lot less, like for instance this month. On the other hand, this is not surprising because most releases and events are announced in the months leading up to August 16. What I like to see is how my news channel is developing. In this video, for instance, I will help a group of fans in their search, and I am pleasantly surprised by the viewer participation for the Elvis is Everywhere section. So please sit back and relax and leave the driving to us. Enjoy this new and entertaining episode of the Elvis Presley News Report of August 2024. The night before Elvis's induction into the US Army, he was giving away some of his clothes he didn't think he would be wearing or wanted when he came back from the army. Of these items, Elvis gave the blue suede shoes which he wore on the Steve Allen show of July 1st, 1956, to his friend Alan Fortas. There is video footage of Elvis where he mentions his blue suede shoes before singing I Want You, I Need You, I Love You.
But I think I have on something tonight that's not quite correct for evening wear.
Not quite formal? What's that, Elvis?
Blue suede shoes.
Oh, yeah!
And also during the comedy skit later in the show.
Well, I got a horse and I got a gun and I'm going out and have some fun. I'm more warning you, galoot. Don't step on my blue suede boots.
Yeah!
The shoes are a size 10.5 and as you can see are stamped on the heel with the Nunn Bush brand. On June 28, 2024, these shoes were on the auction block in England with an estimation between 100 to 120,000 British pounds. The auction hammer fell at a price of 95,000 British pounds. Including fees and value-added tax, the California-based collector who bought the shoes had to pay 120,000 British pounds, which is the equivalent of $150,000.
Elvis was very patriotic, and so he was drafted into the Army in 1958, and we brought some of his Army things here to show you from our collection. One of the first things closest to you, you have your gloves on, so you can touch them.
Have to put the gloves on,
What's
honey.
really cool is that this letter here is actually a form letter that all of the parents get when their son reaches basic training. And they also get their very first military photo.
Look at that.
And so that's his first military photo, and this is the same form letter that all the other parents received that's addressed to Mr. and Mrs. Presley, that their son arrived safely, and this is what he's going to be doing for the next 6 weeks.
I love this, and I love how you can put the gloves on.
So you have to have your gloves. You have to have your
Yeah.
gloves. And then Elvis drove tanks, so we actually do have right here, this is his 32nd Battalion license that he signed.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, and Elvis was drafted into the Army like at the very height of his career too.
Yeah.
I mean,
He was.
And served and went in and
Yeah.
served. I mean, it's actually a pretty incredible story.
He could have gone and entertained troops, but he
Right.
wanted to be a regular GI. And so we also brought a few pieces of his
Did he
uniforms.
never sing to the troops to let them know that he was that talented?
You know, I mean, he might have hummed a tune or so in the barracks or
Yeah.
something, but he was there to be just like them. So he
love
pulled
that.
kitchen duty and guard duty, and as he said, he slept in the snow and he drove tanks, and
He was not
He
treated
was
like a celebrity.
right. He was just like the rest
He
of
was
them.
just like the
Just
rest
like
of
the
them.
rest of the
as
guys.
a matter of fact, this is his Army fatigues hat.
Oh,
So
y'all
on the
came up with
day,
some good stuff.
yeah, so on the day that he was drafted, you could actually see photos of him wearing that hat
exact
after he
hat.
got his famous haircut.
Yep.
How did y'all manage to keep all? Like, how do they keep all of this? Like, how do you even keep all of this stuff at Graceland? It's like in a private room.
So we have 2 archival storage facilities. We have about 1.5 million items in our collection.
And thanks to Vernon, his father, who kept
saved
everything.
See that? We're still trying to keep our little stuff in a little box. Our little birthday card. And he kept
everything.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, we say because Vernon obviously grew up during the Depression, and they had. So when they came into all this, Vernon never knew when it might end, and so he kept everything in case they might need that lamp or need that hat, and so that was the reason why he saved everything. And
how do you think he's been able to maintain generations and generations? I know, when I think about how people come here for his birthday, and then they bring their grandkids.
Yes.
And it seems like it just keeps
I think you said it. It's a generational thing. We see people who come and visit, and they bring their kids and their grandkids. That's exactly
well, now
what it
we're
is.
actually seeing grandkids bringing grandparents because they want to come. A lot of them were introduced to Elvis through the Baz Luhrmann film from 2022, and that has opened up a whole new generation of fans.
So amazing.
That they just they saw Austin's portrayal of Elvis, and now they've gone down the real rabbit hole, and they're at Graceland.
In June 1977, a group of 250 Elvis fans from the UK and Europe travelled with the Elvis Presley fan club of Great Britain to see Elvis's shows in Cincinnati and Indianapolis. In hindsight, it turned out that the group witnessed Elvis's last 2 shows ever. Of those 250 people, a group of 15 have united and are currently keeping in touch via Facebook. The aim of this small group now is to reunite as many people as possible from this trip. Their ultimate goal is to organize a reunion to share precious memories, stories and photographs with each other. The date for this 50th anniversary reunion of Elvis's very last show is set for June 26, 2027. If you know people in the UK or in Europe who were traveling with this group of people, then please inform them about this initiative. You can contact Ian McKay and David Taylor through destinationusa77@gmail.com or visit the Facebook page Destination USA 77 Memories and a 50th Anniversary Reunion. Last month, after 20 years in the making, the first book showcasing Elvis's impact on the field of sequential art was published by Australian Nigel Patterson and titled Elvis, Hero of the Comic Books. The page design made for this book is by the Dutchman Kees Mouwen. Both men have a history in running Elvis websites, Nigel with Elvis Infonet and Kees with Elvis Day by Day. The original concept was a 150-page book, but it has ended up being a mammoth 450-page coffee table release. There are more than 400 titles showcased with more than 600 images, including book covers, internal artwork and an eclectic array of comic book ephemera. Elvis, Hero of the Comic Books highlights how diverse and far-reaching Elvis's impact has been. The themes range from biography, superhero, teen interest, crime and satire, to zombies, vampires and many more categories. The book also contains a detailed account of Elvis and Captain Marvel Jr., a tribute to the grandfather of Elvis comic art, Dutchman Gerrijf, and a 20-page for mature readers only section. The book does not include pornographic or explicit images, but there are several images featuring a censor bar. I was fortunate enough to take a look inside the book, and boy oh boy, what a great book this is! The pages are so colorful and a joy to read, making the book into a real page-turner. There are so many creative artists out there, and each of them put their own stamp on how they portray Elvis. He still is a willing subject even almost 50 years after his death. You don't have to be into comics or be an art-loving Elvis fan to enjoy this book. This book, which I highly recommend, is available as a deluxe hardback from Blurb sites and softcover from Amazon sites. If you are ordering from Amazon US, it is temporarily discounted by 33%, so be quick to take advantage of this offer.
Folks in downtown Tupelo are all shook up. Someone vandalized a popular mural of the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley.
Yeah, I'm here off of West Main Street. Take a look behind me here. You can actually see that the artist has begun repairs on his very famous mural that's here in downtown Tupelo. That mural was defaced Monday morning with yellow paint splattered all over. You can actually see there's some yellow paint still here on the ground by my feet. This is what the picture that you're seeing right now is what Morris McCain woke up to recently. Yellow paint splattered all over one of his famous Elvis Presley murals. This is in the Reed's Alley downtown. I spoke with the artist who says this is not the first time someone has defaced one of his murals. McCain believes the same man cut the head off of the same mural. At the time, it was a 3D model of the late singer and Tupelo native. McCain tells me this does not discourage him.
I'm going to repaint it, yeah. I'm going to repaint it. Actually, I got some other ideas for it too, so it's going to be a little bit, I think, better than what I put up there. So I had its face down to a T, which was the hardest thing to do. But yeah, I'm going to redo it. Yeah, I'm going to redo it again if somebody comes along. That's just because I'm that hard-headed.
Hello everybody. Here is a small update regarding the number of subscribers. Because, as I told you, my goal is to reach 10,000 subscribers in 2024. The current score is around 9,750. If you haven't subscribed yet, do so now. Last month I asked for your participation in the Elvis is Everywhere section. Fortunately, there was a very good response to this, and I now have material for the current and the next video. It is my experience that Elvis is often seen in public spaces during the holidays, so around this period. If you have recently taken a photo that qualifies for the Elvis is Everywhere section, then do not hesitate and send it to elvisdisco@hotmail.com and use the words Elvis is Everywhere in the topic line. Look, this picture of Caroline Judas is taken while she is standing in front of a hair salon in the French town of Chartres. In the bottom corner of the shop window you see this photo of Elvis. This advert was used for the advertising campaign for men's hair products. The same promotion campaign was also used in the United Kingdom. This image of Elvis is on the door of a hairdresser in Ripon, North Yorkshire, England. The photo is taken by Katie Page. Daryl Neal found this mural at Crescent Link, Londonderry, Northern Ireland. Personally, I think the painting would be a lot more convincing with a little more effort. Take a look, for instance, at this chalk drawing done by Leo Aguirre. Gloria made the photo at the Pasadena Chalk Festival in June 2024. That's it for now. More images will be shown in next month's video. Graceland revealed the image of the lithograph they will be giving away to the people who buy their copy of the upcoming memoirs of Lisa Marie through the Graceland shop. It took Graceland just 2 weeks to sell out the 1,000 red vinyl double sets with songs of the upcoming Memphis release just on pre-orders. On August 16, 2024, it is 47 years ago when Elvis Presley died. Physically, he is not here on Earth anymore, but he remains to live in the hearts of his fans. He will always be the king, no matter what. On August 31st, 2024, the world-famous rock and roll cafe Cruise Inn in Amsterdam will be holding its annual Elvis night for the very last time. So grab this chance for a night with 100% Elvis music. Doors open at 9 o'clock and the band The Wanderers will be on stage at 10 o'clock. Spinning the wax will be DJ Eric and yours truly, Emiel Maier. Admission is €10 and more info can be found on cruisein.com. Let's meet and greet on August 31st for a night with kindred spirits. It's trivia time, and in last month's trivia I showed you the sleeve of an Elvis album, but something was not quite right about it. I asked you what was wrong with this image. Well, the correct answer had to be that the colors are wrong of the Back in Memphis wording and the top and bottom bar. The trivia question for this month is about the song I Love Only One Girl from the movie Double Trouble. In this song, Elvis serenades women from Paris, Naples and Frankfurt on the Rhine. The trivia question for this month is, can you tell me the names of these three women? Now the ones in Paris and Naples, they're not so difficult. But what is the name of that woman in Frankfurt on the Rhine again? Post your answer in the comments below. Good luck, everybody!
New at 5, we have some new information on a story we've been following out of Tupelo. Tupelo police have arrested a man in connection to the Elvis mural that was vandalized in downtown Tupelo. Tupelo police got the report on Tuesday of someone defacing the Elvis mural on the Reed's building. Each repair cost the business over $1,000. James Pickler is arrested and charged with felony malicious mischief. A judge set Pickler's bond at $1,000.
In last month's report, I showed that Abba's Björn Olva's pop house company is being interested in creating an Elvis avatar. Perhaps due to this news, the Laid Reality Group, who is responsible for the Elvis Evolution show, has put out a new press release. Laid Reality has entered into a strategic partnership agreement with the Technicolor Group, which is an award-winning visual effects studio. They are now tasked with bringing Elvis back digitally by collecting and ingesting images and film archive clips to train AI models on Elvis's face. As a result of this partnership, the Elvis Evolution experience is delayed to the spring of 2025. The first tickets go on sale in late 2024. That was the news for this time. Check back next month if you want to keep up with all the latest Elvis news. Until then, have a happy Elvis Presley Day.
You have a happy have a happy, have a happy.
Did I hear someone say something about Elvis?